Next morning, I'm up with the birds and raring to go. I walk the 6-mile path through Barn Gate and Skelwith Bridge, and after 2 hours, my destination comes into view. I'm told it's one of the most picturesque villages in the whole country.
I'm going to Grasmere, where Wordsworth spent most of his life, and in fact, he wrote his most famous poem of all, Daffodils, here.
After spending most of his 20s travelling, Wordsworth returned to his beloved Lake District at the age of 29 and spent the rest of his life here. This is Dove Cottage, the home he shared with his wife and his beloved sister Dorothy, and where he composed most of his work. Wordsworth brought a lot of tourism to Grasmere, and the town is still thriving today. There's one business, tucked away next to the local church, that particularly appeals to my sweet tooth.
This is it, it's the gingerbread shop. It looks really cute.
And it's like stepping back in time.
Hi, are you Joanne?
I am.
From Mehreen, it's lovely to meet you.
You too.
This is such a beautiful, cute little place.
Thank you.
I wasn't quite sure what to expect in here, but it's lovely. You run this gingerbread shop, which is quite the tourist spot now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a real mecca of people coming here from all over the world, and we've been going 164 years.
My goodness, 164. And it's got quite a history with the land.
It does. I mean, originally the building itself was built in 1630 as a school, and it's where Wordsworth used to come and occasionally teach.
What's the connection with the church and the cottage?
Well, after the village school finished, the church decided to rent it out to a poor and needy family, and it was Sarah and her husband Wilfred and their children that were poor and needy, and it became her home, and this is where she ran her business from. And actually today we still rent the cottage from the church, from the Diocese of Carlisle.
So the church was a real significant part of how this whole thing started.
Very much so, because obviously if the church hadn't given it to Sarah, then no, she wouldn't have been here. And she would actually bake cakes, and she would sell them outside the shop on a tabletop, on the top of a tree stump. And she'd sell gingerbread and Helvellyn cakes, which is named after the mountain, Helvellyn. And she would talk to the first tourists, who were the Victorians that came to see Wordsworth's grave, which is next door in the beautiful church.
Why do you think the gingerbread still brings in, all these years later, so many tourists?
Well, it's become obviously world renowned, but there's lots of interesting things about the business. One is that it's a secret recipe.
What is the secret recipe?
Well, I don't know, because it's a secret. Even I don't know it, even though I'm third generation of my family to be in the business. People love the whole experience, and it's very quintessentially English, so for the foreign visitors, they just love it.
So they, I guess, want to still be part of the history and the story.
They want to experience the whole thing. When you walk in here, as you have done, it's very, very different. It's like a step back in time, and obviously you can smell the gingerbread on
and
the air.
with your outfits and everything, yeah.
We do get quite a lot of photographs taken.
I know it's a secret, but am I allowed to try some gingerbread? Then maybe I can figure out the recipe.
Of course you can. So now what you expect is cross between like a biscuit and a cake, crispy and chewy, and very Moorish.
Oh, that is really good. I can't figure out the recipe, but it tastes nice, yeah.
Joanne then offers me a further treat. She says I'm allowed to take a look in the kitchens, even though they're not usually open to the public.
Never wrapped gingerbread before.
Well, it's good.
Must be really fun dressing up every morning.
Nothing to do with like it.
I must admit this is not my best look, but my mother would be very proud.
Coming into the kitchen, it's very, very small in here. It's going to be very, very hot in the summer and very cold in the winter. That's the secret mixing room, so we can't go in there.
We're not allowed in there, got it.
And then we've got the gingerbread here ready to go into the oven. And once it's baked, it comes out, it gets cut, and then it goes onto these racks here to be cooled.
Right.
And once it's cooled, we take it off the trays, ready to go straight into the shop to be wrapped. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you today.
Okay.
You maybe need to watch me first because it's quite hard to do.
Her hands are like a blur.
And that's how we wrap it.
Right, you're going to have to go a little bit slower than that.
This is 6 pieces here. You take the 2 ends together.
Got it?
And then you fold it down. And as you fold it down, you put a crease in it.
Is that right?
Yep. Down. So imagine it was a present.
Okay, wait, I can do this. So, it's there.
Yep.
And then I fold it in the middle and put a crease in it.
Fold it inwards like this, and as you're folding it in, you put a crease in it like that.
Got it.
Okay, I'll help you.
I'm almost as bad at wrapping gingerbread as I was at milking.
It's not bad.
I've seen better. And let's have a look at the back to see how neat it is. You know, I don't think you're going to get a job here.
Oh, no. No, I promise I'll work really hard. It's just my first time.
You can be the chief taster, though.
Yes.
Next door is the Church of St. Oswald's. Apparently, there's been a church